Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BBC Spews live on the 22nd of November. Huzzah. Crikey, there's loads of you in already. It's almost like they're unnaturally killing my audience, and the people that do watch are devoted listeners because they've got good taste and judgment. Weird that, innit? Anyway, there's plenty in. How are you all? Right, you're not getting a name check because there's over 100 of you, but Zardos is in. Hello. Waxing Miracle still on about the Gobbletron. He's definitely a buyer. English Realist, Calbert and Mr. Maximum, Richard Eric, Ted in England, Stevie C, Ambs, Gianna, Roost Ricardo, Hit the North, Frankie Della, New Fish, Davy Boy, Old Mago, Shield Wolf, Paul Jody, and Karen Megson. Hello there, how are you? Right, some good news this week. Good news all over the shop. I think maybe after 10 years, because it's been about 10 years, hasn't it? I think the real genesis of all the woke shite taking over the world, probably about 10 years ago. One of the earliest incidents that I think you guys probably remember me mentioning was when that Nobel Prize winning professor got cancelled because I think it was Dawn Butler who lied about him. In fact, let me have a look for him. Nobel Prize winning bloke who got cancelled. I think it was 2015. Let me have a look. He said, "Women cry." What was it? There we are. It's Tim Hunt. It's a Tim Hunt, if you remember. There he is, look. So nearly 10 years ago, but I think that was the first really high profile one. Certainly that I remember. I just remember reading it and being like, world's gone mad on it. Because he didn't really say anything bad. He said known facts and he got cancelled and lost his job. A bit like what happened to Roger Scruton, which, as you all know, I haven't ever forgiven Johnny Mercer for. Like my hatred and rage towards Johnny Mercer knows no bounds. And I've been busting his balls on Twitter for years. And it was all because of what he did to Roger Scruton. Bootneck holds a grudge. Bootneck holds a grudge. I'll tell you, I'm the type of bloke, if I got bullied when I was 15, if I see the bloke out now, I'll punch his face in. I actually did chin a bloke who picked on me and my mate Snell when we were in the Territorial Army when we were like 16. And there was a bloke there, scruffy chav from Borough, who was about 25 or something. And he used to proper be a cunt to us all the time, like picking on us. And I seen him in the Crown in Middlesbrough when I was about 30. And I just went over and chinned him. So I hold a grudge, me. I think arseholes deserve a bat. So fucking, what's his name? That fucking knobhead. Mercer. He's going to be on my shit list till I'm old and grey. I just hope I can roll my wheelchair in and, piss on his grave before I follow him. Javier is not our guy. I know he's not our guy, but the problem with you fuckers, and I keep telling you this, is that you guys are more optimistic than I am. I am a pessimist, a cynic, and a realist, and the Bootneck doesn't think someone has to be in total alignment or even much alignment with me for me to make common cause with them. I'm like Sun Tzu, right? I'm a soldier at heart. You don't always get the ally that you want, but you get the one you need. There's plenty of things about Millie I don't like, but there's plenty of things I do like. And I think him getting elected is like Geert Wilders being that close in the Netherlands. We've got the final total collapse of the film industry. That the Marvels is just, it's literally going to lose Disney. They reckon $400 million. This year seems to be, although yeah, I do like his fucking pork chops. I'm into pork chops myself. Ever since I left the car, because you weren't allowed big sides, I've always had a sort of bottom of the year pork chops. Me, that's the length I like them. A lot of people have told me you should take them up a couple of inches, but I don't know. I've got a thing about it because I was never allowed big sides in the car. They didn't mind you having a bit of a moped in the Royal Marines. You don't have to have a crew cut because you're out of your hair quite long because they had to pull you through the water tunnels if you're going to drown. but you were never allowed big sides. So I'm into pork chops. Also, I believe his stance on the Falklands is that he's going to make Argentina so good that the people in the Falklands will want to fucking join him. His stance isn't, I'm going to invade them, is it? Because he knows he'll get his fucking ass kicked. So, yeah, I don't think he's as bad as a lot of those on the right seem to be making out. It's 10 times better than the alternative, which is what I've told you a lot, is essentially what I think about Israel. Like, I'm not mega on board with Israel. I've got nothing to do with them. I'm a staunch red-blooded Englishman from 50 generations of Brits and Celts and English people. You know, well, I don't even know. I don't care. You know what we're like? We're not like the Americans. I don't really know the full microcosm of my fucking ancestry. I just know that I'm 99% English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and Scandinavian. I have nothing to do with those people. But at the end of the day, I've got a preference. And we know that they've got their own agenda, haven't they? I know that as well. It has been floated about that they're like, you know what we should do? Promote all of the all of Alan's lads moving to Europe, and then we can just have the Middle East, well, our small region, you know, up to the Mediterranean Sea. They probably have got their own agenda. And I always talk about the King David Hotel bombing. We all know that they do their own dodgy shit. Munich, you've all seen that. I know all that, but I can still have a preference, can't I? I don't think you have to have total common cause with anyone. I mean, holy shit, that bloke Knee Chance, who I've talked to before, he's pretty hardcore against the Israelis and the Jewish people in general. It seems doesn't matter. Like I keep telling you, like, I'm a libertarian. Really, I can rub along with most people that aren't fucking shit for brains communists, basically, and I'll take any ally I can get. I don't think it's bad news at all to see the likes of Miler winning in Argentina. I think it's good. And basically, anything that pisses off the mainstream media, the United Nations, Klaus Schwab, the globalist psychopaths, and Silicon Valley, I like. I don't need to have common cause with these people. I just know that if it pisses them off, I like it. Ultimately, you guys overthink everything. You don't need to have tons in common. You shouldn't be bifurcating between the enemy and you all have to have loads in common. All I think is, do the people who are my genuine enemies like it? And if they like it, I hate it. Easy. I'm living in California because that's where my missus is from, which reminds me, it's our 10-year anniversary today. So, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Already been sent a few nice messages on Facebook. Let's have a quick look, shall we? I feel like I should put her up, seeing as it's my anniversary. Let me have a look, see what nice messages have been sent first before we start doing the stream. 10 years married to the Naffy Gronk. When is she getting a VC? Congratulations to you both. She didn't smother you in your sleep. Cheers, Terry. Mrs. Bootneck has taste when it comes to T-shirts. That is good, that, isn't it? She bought that after she visited Middlesbrough for a while. I didn't purchase that for her. That was her own effort. So I'm impressed with that. Congrats for helping her with you. You're putting up with you. Yeah, all right. Everyone's taking the piss out of me. That's a bit weird. I thought you guys liked the Bootneck. Everyone's siding with the missus. This season's hottest accessory, the medium ugly boyfriend. That's fucking brilliant. He's nice enough, but damn, he won the lottery. I love that. Perhaps you've seen him in the streets holding the bag of a well-dressed woman as they make their way to brunch. This season's hottest accessory. Is that what I am? The medium ugly boyfriend. I love it. Also, look at that one. Well done to her not smothering you while you sleep. I responded to that. She had a pop once, and I nearly roundhoused her lips off. You know, that's one of my favourite sayings. That's one of my favourite sayings because I was playing a video game, one of my mates from Borough, and I heard a kid in the background say something, and you just heard him respond, get to fucking bed or I'll roundhouse your lips off. And I just thought, that's how they talk to the weans in the borough. Get to fucking bed or roundhouse your lips off. So yeah, that's why. That's why we live in California, mate. As I said, I guess it's linked to what I was saying about our allies in politics, isn't it? There's a lot of people who put the foot down about California and say, fucking hell, I can't believe you live out there. Ultimately, a very, very large portion of down to what you make of it, which is something that I've always told you lot as well, right? Ultimately, I'm not a fucking self-help channel like Chris Thrall and all them lot who fucking do courses and call themselves life coaches. Not something I do. But I do, while I'm talking, try and promote the things that I've led my life by, because I think I've been quite good at it. In fact, very good at it. I'm 44 years old now. I've got no debt, no addictions. I keep fit. I eat pretty good, other than occasional binge drinking. I'm happily married. I don't have PTSD, depression, anxiety, or any of the other laundry list of pure shit that people seem to be suffering with nowadays because they can't get the fucking basics right. So the point I keep making is, actually, I brought this up on Twitter today because you can, but I import it. I pay. There's a website you can buy it off. You can get it for about, it's like a tenner a fucking whatever, £2 sausage of it. So I don't do any of that stuff. As I said, yeah, of course he is. I've had Chris all on my channel before. I get on, it's great with him, but he's a life coach and I'm not. What I'm saying is I try and preach the basics, which is keep fit, eat clean, have a purpose in your life, do some fucking work. Don't get all bitter and resentful and pissed off about everything and become some sort of political fucking activist. Just do this like I do it, for like a hobby, and occasionally spend some time taking the piss out of the silly bastards because it makes you laugh, and then go for a pint with your mates, or go play 40k, or, you know, go for a walk, take the dog out, play with the kids, whatever. Enjoy your fucking life. People make too much of a mountain out of a molehill with politics. You can't affect that much of it. So you've just got to get on with your life. Like I said to you, if you find yourself on a protest, making a placard, spending 10 hours out your day, I feel like you're not doing life right. It's all well and good to say that, oh yeah, but we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to fight. You don't really. You have to understand the limits of your powers. When things get fucking terrible, it'll sort itself out. Where's he? Porpoise, that's the bloke who got caught fucking a dolphin in a red car. He said, I didn't do it on porpoise. Ginger's good for you. Yeah, that's true. So you get what I'm saying. It's linked to this tweet. You know, you guys are aware of it, that I follow the Mayor of Middlesbrough, Andy Roberts, and he does actually reply to me quite regularly. He seems a really good bloke. I liked him a lot. And I think Labour stitched it up as usual. They beat him by about 600 votes and they fucking cheated, like they always do. But he's a good bloke, and he was saying, I was having a bit of a debate with him because he said, oh yeah, Stockton needs more help from the government. And the local MP for Stockton-on-Tees, which is right next to Middlesbrough, it's a bit of a shithole, was complaining, saying, why is there still people in my constituency that have got no fucking money? And the government's not the answer if you've got no money. The answer is to not be a fucking loser and do some work. In fact, shall I have a look and see if I can find that little back and forth? Because the blokes are fucking knobhead. I hate Labour politicians. I hate them. I hate the way they promote self-pity and cringing. It's just, there's nothing good comes from living your life that way. It's why the lefties are the way they are. They're all bitter and resentful and they never achieve anything because they always want to blame other people for the problems. I've got a couple of mates like that from back home as well, you know, still friends of mine, but politically we've got nothing in common. And one of them, you know, he worked hard for a long time and saved up a load of money. And then this is in about 2010, and he had like 50 grand in the bank. And instead of like buying a house, investing it, if you bought a house in 2010, if he just took 25 grand down for a down payment on a house and stuck 25 grand in the stock market, just buy a load of fucking blue chip companies, he'd be wadded now. Just doing a basic 9 to 5. He'd be fucking wadded now. And instead, he went down the road of being a political activist. And he hasn't worked for about 6 years. And he just spends all day complaining about the state of the world. And to me, if you do that, you've failed. Like, you can make a go of things by having a stiff upper lip and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. You can. Everybody says, oh, you can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps in this day and age. Oh, my God, they're all arguing with Jordan Peterson, some fat Aussie communist, saying like, oh, yeah, everything's so hard. It's all well and good saying you can try, but climate change, it's fucking pathetic. You can make a go of things. I have. Just do it. It's not that hard to work 40 hours a week, save your money, and live frugally. It's not that hard. I think even if my missus and me both worked in McDonald's, we'd have done good out here. If we'd both been working at Mackie D's for the last 10 years, we'd have saved our money, squirreled it away, lived frugally like we do, and we'd be doing fucking good. Like, the system does work. You just have to put some effort in. Anyway, let me see this twat I was arguing with. Here we go. Found it. I want to show you the spineless fucking weasel from Stockton. So Andy Preston shared this. Look, did government really call Stockton a shithole? Apparently, James Cleverly was caught on a hot mic saying, because it's a shithole. And it is. Not having a pot with him for that. But listen to the question.
Let's go again. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. Why are 34% of children in my constituency living in poverty?
What a shit question. What a shit question. Like, he got up there in the Houses of Parliament, gets his chance to fucking ask a question to the Prime Minister, and he stands up and says, why are 34% of the children in my constituency living in poverty? Well, it's because the parents are fucking losers. That's why. Easy. Why are people in their constituency? Because you're, first of all, Frisp, fuck off back north of the wall. I'm sick of them coming down to England and fucking whinging. And secondly, because the parents are losers. Kids can't be blamed, but the parents can. And Andy Preston said, in response to my question, I said, in response to that video, I said, yes, but the weasel already knows the answer. I'm the son of a single dad from Borough, and I wasn't raised in poverty because he worked for 30 years. Like, that's it. It's not like we had some amazing head start. He's not from a rich family. As far as I'm aware, he didn't get anything given to him, like off his mum. His mum didn't say, like, there's £5,000 for your mortgage. He just married me mum, and he was a welder working in the steel industry in Borough, like nearly everyone was. She did all kinds of small jobs, secretary, shit like that. And they just bought a house and they just worked. And then my mum kicked the bucket when I was 9 or 10. And we still managed. My Nana Hilda moved in, me stabby fucking knife-throwing fisticuffs, swears like a sailor granny, sound as a fucking pound, she was. Only died a few years ago. And we made it work. Like, you shouldn't be looking to the government to answer that question for you. Where's 34% of the kids in my constituency in poverty? Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll come round and make them a fucking sandwich, shall I? Or do you want the Home Secretary to come round, make them some fucking fish fingers and read them the Bastard Gruffalo? The kids are in poverty because the parents are fucking losers. They're fucking losers. And Andy Roberts and Andy Preston said, I think that hard work and can-do attitude makes someone win in most situations, and hats off to those who thrive in adversity. There are those many, his spelling's bad, there are, though, many who need more carrot and stick to prosper. I think he means more carrot than stick to prosper, right? And I said, indeed so. And the sensible majority support a safety net, but not a fishing net, which is what we've had for 30 years. Incentivizing bad behavior has consigned millions to a life of poverty, obesity, addiction, and depression. Work must always pay. If you think any of that is illogical, come at me, bro. Like, that is what's happened. The safety net became a fishing net in the fucking mid-90s. Blair ramped it all up. And we have created a generation of big, fat, addicted, pill-popping, chronically depressed, self-harming, suicidal, fucking mad cunts. And it's been created by the welfare state. Thomas Sowell talks about it in the United States, and I'm talking about it now. That's what causes this. It's not the state. That fucking idiot saying, oh, why is the poor, why are 30% of kids starving? Well, because the parents are fucking losers. You can't blame anybody else. It's not the state. It's not the state's job to feed your kids. Here's a crazy idea. Feed your own ugly, fucked up kids. I do not give a monkey's fart about the fucking children of strangers. Feed your own ugly fucking kids, you sad bastard. Wayne and fucking Waynetta slop. Remember Wayne and Waynetta slob when they win the lottery and they're asking him at the news conference, like, oh, what are you going to spend the money on? And he's like, I intend to spend the majority of my money on pizzas and Benson and Edges. Like, those people would be losers no matter how much money they had. It's not about money. You can't throw money at a problem and fix it. The fucking welfare state has created a generation of obese, pill-popping sex pests. Oh, there's another American in, Jason Burrow. Well, greetings from Ohio, the Buckeye State. Greetings. I've been there. Went on the piss. Can't remember much of it. That could be my travel log. I can't remember this place. The Angry Bootneck's travel log. I've been to about 30 states and I only remember about 6 of them. So it's bollocks, isn't it? It's fucking bollocks. Do some work. He's my favourite. I always pick. There's a few people who my mates in the pub have noticed this. Whenever I'm ranting, and there's a few that have stuck in my head, and I always pick on them. And a few of them are Nadia from Big Brother, right? Because we were paying for Nadia to get fucking cock off on NHS 12 or 13 years ago or something. That was my pet peeve 10 years ago. I'd be ranting in the pub before I even had a YouTube channel going, why the fuck am I paying taxes to pay for a fucking random Romanian man to get cock off on NHS? Why? What am I paying for that for? I don't think I should be toiling so we can fashion a nice pair of piss flaps for a perfect stranger. I'm just putting that out there as well. I don't like carrying bricks up a ladder thinking, I'm glad I'm carrying these bricks up a ladder in the rain. I can get a random Romanian man a nice set of fucking beef curtains. That's not why I go to work. That's not why I go to work. I go to work to benefit me. I don't mind paying a little bit of tax. Yeah, I can afford it. I'm doing well. But we're getting the piss took out of us. The tax burden's the highest it's ever been. And you find out that we're paying for fucking sculpting a meat canyon for a perfect stranger or Nigerian fucking Spice Girls. Portuguese. That's what didn't I say Portuguese? I thought Nadia was I said Portuguese, didn't I? It was Portugal, I'm sure. Portugal or Poland or whatever the fuck it was. But basically, Nadia was a bloke who came to England in early noughties and got all of the sex change done on the NHS. It's like one of the most famous examples of health tourism, which was why I always used to pick it. This bloke, Phil, I think you're talking about Michael Carroll, the fucking bin man. He was a bin man and he won all that money and he just pissed it all at the wall. He was skinned 5 years later. But like I said, money doesn't... That is a classic example of what I'm talking about. Idiot lefties think throwing money at people fixes problems and it doesn't. Anthony's in now then. What do you think of Javier Miler? I've just been talking about him, Anthony. I like him. I don't think... Yeah, there's a few things I disagree with him on, but so what? I was just having that out, saying, at the end of the day, you don't have to agree with everything, do you? You just have to see that he drives the BBC wild and Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like him. That's it. Happy days, I'm on board. You know what I mean? We don't have to be fucking perfectly aligned. Oh, yeah, that was it. But I said he was Romanian, didn't I? So I don't know. Nadia was either Portuguese or Romanian. But whatever the case, Nadia got Meat Canyon sculpted by a British fucking surgeon or the NHS, and you paid for it. He was banger racing in his garden. Yeah, I love that. Absolute hero, that bloke. He drank more special brew in 12 months than any 20 tramps. So yeah, he at least deserves credit for that. Tin Dog, pissing ourselves laughing in New Zealand. Keep it up. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much, Tin Dog. Appreciate it. We are going boozing today. I'm taking her out. I told her I'm going to sing her a song on the karaoke because it's our 10th anniversary. So if she's good all day, I'll sing her a nice song like something by Journey. That's a good one. If she's badly behaved, I'm going to sing Easy Lover by Phil Collins because A, I like that song, and B, it'll make everybody in there think she's a hooer. So that's what she's been told. If she's good all day, I'll sing her a romantic song. And if she's not, I'll sing a song and point at her and say, that's my missus, this is for her. And then everyone in the pub will go, ooh, she's a manky old slag, isn't she? She's a filthy bag of carrots, that one. So that's the plan. I'm blackmailing her. Anyway, that's my rant. Go to work, you lazy bastards. Is my mantra for anybody who's whinging. And I know it's shit being skinned. When I first started, drove a truck for the fucking council when I first left the Marines. It was a bit shit. Probably only getting about 1,100 quid a month. Once I paid all my bills and my council tax and all that shit, I probably had 200 quid a month left over. Not ideal, but not terrible. Like 50 quid a week for spendies. If you eat mega clean and healthy, you spend fuck all for the week. Go to the gym every day. I'm quite happy. If I can afford a gym membership and 20 quid on a weekend for a pizza and a six-pack, I'm pretty happy. Like if you've got very low standards and you pull your finger out, you can make a go of things. Ultimately, you've got a lot more power than you think you have. And this fucking dickhead here, let's just play him once more, wasting his 10 seconds in Parliament.
Let's go again. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. Why are 34% of children in my constituency living in poverty?
Because mum and dad are fucking fat knobheads. That's why. Because daddy's like Mick Philpott. Because daddy spends his money on Super Kings scratch cards and fucking boxes of matches. That's why. Do some work, you fat frisp. Let's fucking hate these people. Jesus. And as I said, ultimately, Henry Hill, the only way in life is to make good money is graft. It's all about reframe your brain. That's what like Scott Adams has talked about. And the reason I've had a good life is because I've unwittingly applied all of these things without even knowing it. Like I've been unwittingly applying all of the things you learn from people like Jordan Peterson or Douglas Murray or Scott Adams. I've been unwittingly doing them my whole life because I've told you all my rules. I only drink if I've got plenty of money in the bank. I never drink on a credit card. I only drink if I've got the next day off work. And I only drink if I haven't got any problems in my life. Like, there's my big three. And I've always done that ever since my dad told me. Like, never drink on a school night, son. Don't drink if you're depressed, son, or everything will only get worse. Don't drink if you can't afford it, son, or you'll only be even more skinned. Like, getting advice from your parents and your grandparents. You unwittingly live a life where you're doing all the shit that the professionals tell you anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not that hard. My dad and my granddad taught me all this shit. And my mum and my nana. I didn't need to fucking read a psychologist's advice. But you've got way more power than you think you have. If you screw the nut and stay laser focused, drink a lot of tap water, eat a lot of fucking cheap tuna from Aldi, and work, treat yourself twice a month or something, and then look for a better job and read a bit more and learn a bit more and do something else. It's not that hard. First time on the live chat, Ian Pride, welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. So I've got no time for this. And seriously, I'm not just saying it to try and be funny and take the piss out of Mick Philpott, because I love doing that. But yeah, if you're in a rough place, do something about it. Like, don't think, what I'll do is I'll sit under this fucking tree and I'll wait for the government to help me. Because you'll be waiting for a fucking long time. It sounds almost a little bit racist, right? But I don't care. We noticed it when we went to Sierra Leone, you know. Because when we jump out the helicopter, right, and we're in a fucking shithole, doesn't matter whether we're in Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, Northern Ireland, anywhere. The first thing we did was work to make it better. Like we're literally in a fucking dust bowl. And lads start like doing stuff. Like we're all like, all right, let's clean up. So you put sentries out. And once they're squared away and you're ready to do some admin, people start doing shit. You make your harbour area, which is basically just clear a rough trail, put some paracord out, do like a bog standard triangular harbour area. And then we start doing shit. So you've got sentries deployed and you do, I'll chop this little tree down and I'll saw the top off it and sand it down. You get some tools off the A's and you make yourself a little chair, or you make a shelf out of an old MRE box and a bit of paracord. You just start doing stuff. And no matter where we went, in Iraq, when we invaded Iraq, we probably made harbour areas in about 8 different locations. We were constantly moving, pressing the enemy. Flet moves north, we follow it. Move. And everywhere we went, we made it better. I remember we stayed in a shitty old UN base for about 3 weeks. And we made it better. We cleaned up. There was shit everywhere. And we spent the days sweeping, mopping, throwing shit out, digging ditches, whatever you did. And you make it nice. And then a few weeks later, we move out. And all the scruffy cunts move in. Right? And in Sierra Leone, I swear to God, that's what they were like. We'd be like doing shit. And the locals just sit under a fucking tree for 10 hours watching you. And every time they think they can get in to pinch something, they try, and someone sees them or the sentry sees them and say, oi, fuck off. And then off they go, and they sit under a tree for another 10 hours, and they do fuck all. And then this continues for weeks. And then we say, right, we're ripping, we're off. And they know we're leaving. We all start gathering up our stuff. And finally, get a bit of action from the locals. They all start going, ooh, are they off? And then we're like, all right, come on in then, boys. Sergeant Major gets on the helicopter, last man. He's like, right, we're off. Fucking do as you please. All the locals steam in and start smacking fuck out of each other for a makeshift chair or a shelf made out of a fucking MRE box or a piece of paracord. And they'll start kicking fuck out of each other for this shit. And I just thought, if you had have spent 2 weeks doing some work instead of 2 weeks just sat under a tree thinking of ways to steal off us, you would have got a lot done. It seems like that's what the attitude of a lot of the like Nigerians are. Quite hard workers, aren't they? They just have a can-do attitude compared to the fucking neighbours. They're like, you know what? I'm going to read a lot and I'm going to learn a lot and I'm going to make my life better and I'm going to work hard. And other people's attitude, like Mick fucking Philpott, isn't, I know I'll go and work on a building site for a few years. His attitude is, I know I'll come up with an elaborate scheme. I'll come up with an elaborate plan. I've seen a video of some chavs in Plymouth, down in Guz, there's some rough towns down there, where they broke their own fucking leg. Like, did you see that one where they were on benefits and they were trying to like scam the system? And he was like, oh, you can get 20 grand if you fucking tell the government you fell over a pothole. And they're all drunk. And he lies on the floor and his mate like comes over with a fucking breeze block and like drops it on his leg because they're trying to like scam the government. This is what scruffy cunts do. This guy is encouraging and asking questions like the worst type of no good, scruffy fucking Philpott twat. They'd rather come up with elaborate schemes to game the system, to steal from the betters, than they would just do some fucking work. Do some fucking work. It's what I tell my employees at work. It's like, lads, just do some fucking work. Like, there's people who'll spend an hour milling around, desperately trying to figure out a way to avoid a job that would take them 10 minutes. And the good lads, one of my employees is great, like called Vic, and he's like, just volunteers. I'm like, this needs doing. It needs to be a daily occurrence. It takes 5 minutes. Keep it on top of shit. He's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Done. Easy. Literally, it's a 5 minute fucking job. Gather some stuff together, take a photo, send a fucking email. That's the job. But there's people who'll spend an hour desperately scheming to try and avoid the way of doing the 5 minute job. Essentially, that is the attitude of all of these wankers, these fucking wet, bitter, miserable losers who just don't want to do anything. Bang on there. I had a dip in my life, felt sorry for myself, got stuck in and worked hard. The result was living a comfortable life. Exactly right. You can't feel sorry for yourself. The mark of a man, really, the real mark of a man is how you deal with disappointment. I saw a documentary once, fantastic documentary about a journeyman boxer. It was when I was living in York, so it was probably about 12 years ago. And it was a bloke who was a hoofing boxer. No, really good. He'd probably kick fuck out of me. You know, I am nails, but probably fill me in. Right. And he was a journeyman boxer. He'd had something like 60 fights and he'd lost like 57 because he was a professional opponent for up-and-coming boxers. And it was a great thing to see and hear him talk because he was saying, like, when you get a Floyd Mayweather or a Manny Pacquiao, they're a rare talent. Don't dare say Frank Bruno in the fucking chat. Don't dare put him in the same league as fucking Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. Remember that one when Frank Bruno got battered? And the text went around. So what have Michael Jackson and Frank Bruno got in common? They both love getting battered around the ring. The old ones are the best. Anyway, this bloke was a professional loser. Great boxer. He kicked fuck out of anyone in the chat. But he's the bloke who they come to when they're building up the confidence and the experience and the mandatory fights for fucking heroes, for legends that come along once in a blue moon. And listening to him talk, gazing into his eyes and his weathered face when he talks about having a career of getting battered, you really feel for him. Anyone can do well when life's going well. It sounds like I'm giving you a speech about fucking plot the Top Gun or something, like any sports movie. But any one of us can do well if we're middle class and born into middle class ease. The real mark of a man is how you deal with failure, how you deal with stress, how you deal with pressure, how you deal with losing and dragging yourself off the ground, covered in blood and sweat and marred with filth, and doing it again and again and again and again. That is the measure of a man. And you should be immensely proud of yourself. You should be way more proud of yourself if you're working class and you've had a rough upbringing and you end up relatively comfortable than some shithead who went to a nice university, some fucking Owen Jones or a Fua Hirsch or Laurie Penny. Do you remember when David Starkey proper told Laurie Penny and he was like, I will not have it from some fucking spoiled middle-class public school girl taking the piss out of me because he's a self-made working-class man and they think they're better than him. They're not better than you. And I've told you lot this loads of times. That's that. Just like the Foreman grill, Frank Bruno brought out a toaster. Trouble was it was fucked after one round. Yeah, exactly. Fucking know what I mean, Harry. He was dog shit. He was another one, but he was probably like Lenny Henry. He got where he got because Britain's an overly tolerant country. And if you're from an ethnic minority group, they'll push you to the front. Lenny Henry, if he was white, he'd have worked in fucking Burger King for 30 years. I'm sorry, but that is just a fact. Like, he is not funny. Some black comedians are great. They're all over here, though. Eddie Murphy was genuinely funny. His stand-up was great when I was a kid. I think that was when he really blew up in the late 80s. Dave Chappelle's funny. Lenny Henry's fucking terrible. Lenny Henry got a job because he's the right colour. If he looked like me, he'd have been selling fucking double glazing for 30 years. And there's nothing wrong with selling double glazing. Anything where you pound the fucking turf is an honourable profession. But he's not a comedian, is he? That was funny as bollock cancer. So anyway, I haven't even done the news today. That was just 40 minutes ranting about fucking losers. This was a pep talk today. Pep talk for you. All it did. Lenny Henry is as funny as a fucking trip to the dentist. I'd rather have major root canals done than listen to Lenny fucking Henry. Shall I put one story on before we go? This one keeps popping up. I told you, I swear to God, I'm convinced the BBC are fucking with me. I've cleared my cookies. I deleted my browser. I've fucking deleted everything. And every single time I type in BBC, this comes up. There's no fucking way Google aren't doing it on purpose. Every time I just go B. I might want to go to like somewhere else that begins with a B. Boddingtons.com. I press B on my fucking keyboard and this shit comes up every time. I do not believe Google aren't fucking me. YouTube are fucking me. And Sue's ass fucking rinsed me. And Neil's been up my ass. And fucking Zucker twats come on my face. They're all fucking me. I don't believe Google aren't doing it on purpose. There's no way the UK's black gay icons are worthy of recognition pops up on my fucking PC every day. And that is just because I'm being a PC biff. I'm not having it. Anyway, that is not the story I wanted to show you. Yeah, it was this one. Geert Wilders. Do you remember that? Guilty of incitement. This reminded me exactly of Donald Trump created fuck the BBC. I'd rather give Al Qaeda money. Fuck off. Yeah, do you remember when Geert Wilders? This reminded me of Trump. This was the mainstream media knowing that they haven't really got a leg to stand on. So they prosecute them anyway, but just because they think it'll help them in the polls. It's the deep state, the civil servants, the activists in all of these positions of power in all the Western world, right? In the USA, it's the fucking CIA and the FBI and the activist judges and the activist lawyers and the civil servants. And in the Netherlands, it's the same. It's the EU politicians, the civil servants, the activist judges. They prosecuted him because they wanted to hurt him in the polls. They knew they didn't have a leg to stand on to do anything to him. And if you read the story, look, I will never be silent. It said he was convicted of insulting a group and inciting discrimination, but no penalty was imposed by the court. So you just remember this. This is what they do. Of course, no penalty was imposed by the court because really he didn't break a law. Mark Steyn's made the same point many times. The punishment is the process. They know he hasn't really broke the law. Insulting a group. I mean, seriously, do you think insulting a group should be against the law? Do you? Insulting. It's fucking entirely down to the individual. You call me a hairy, scruffy cunt, northern twat. I don't get insulted. But as we've seen on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, there's people out there who get insulted if you say, oh, I'm old enough to be your dad. Get insulted. Yeah, because it's performative. Insulting a group is not against the fucking law. It's not. So they didn't impose a penalty because they knew they couldn't. It's kangaroo court. It's electoral machinations. That's all it is. It's the exact same thing they did to Trump. Before Trump, really. And all I can say is they're saying to him, good luck to him. I hope he fucking wins. They'll cheat, but I hope he wins anyway. It is cheating as well. In fact, I'll make that point before I leave because I'm taking my missus out. 12 o'clock, I said we'd be ready and we're going for a good drink and a dinner and some karaoke. Essentially, they did cheat. I think it's been long enough where I can say that now without instantly getting fucking banned off, which is cheating, right? Which is cheating. I got banned for reading a Time magazine article about Trump. I literally just read a Time magazine article where they bragged about fucking cheating and they banned me for 2 weeks. That's cheating. Everyone's saying like, ooh, what about the ballot? Yeah, well, technically we didn't ballot. As if the only way it's cheating is if a bloke with a ski mask and a shotgun comes in and goes, give me all the votes for Geert Wilders. You know what I mean? Comes in with a machete, chops off someone's arm and pinches all the votes for fucking Joe Biden. It's like, that's not, yeah, okay, that is a form of cheating that never happens. And they make it like there was no cheating because, oh, well, technically there was no evidence of widespread. Well, no, but there was widespread, but there was evidence of definitely directed, targeted cheating in small districts, what were very important in swing states. But we'll avoid that altogether. Sad Wings giving me $10 because of Trump. Obviously, the Orange Emperor. The Orange Emperor provides. But you see what I'm saying? Even if there's no shenanigans with ballots, literal ballots, shenanigans, people taking ballots, throwing bin liners full of votes in the bin, setting votes on fire, Soros voting machines, even if there's none of that, even if there's none of that at all, when the FBI and the CIA, or in this instance, the government, the civil servants, the heads of state and the intelligence agencies, when they collude to tell the mainstream media and Silicon Valley, that is cheating. Right? Can we agree on that? Doesn't have to be ballot harvesting. Doesn't have to be bin liners of votes shot in the fucking river. Doesn't have to be intimidating people with knuckle dusters outside a polling station. Why you I order? It's cheating. When the CIA and the FBI told the mainstream media in Silicon Valley that they had to delete all the stories about that fucking laptop that everybody knew existed, and promote all the stories about Biden being honest and noble and just and tolerant and experienced. That is cheating. It definitely is. The world's big enough for everybody. I'm not saying The Guardian and the BBC shouldn't exist, but Fox News is allowed to be right-wing and partisan. The world's big enough for all of them, but when the state gets involved and says, elevate The Guardian and the BBC and slam and silence Fox News and the Daily Mail, that's cheating, because the state's getting involved. And that's what happened here. Geert Wilders has been cheated. He's already been cheated. Maybe he'll get so much support that he'll win anyway, but if he narrowly loses, it's because they fucking cheated. Right? Doesn't need to be knuckle dusters outside the polling station. Bags of fucking ballots in the river. It's the government, the intelligence agencies, the politicians, the heads of state lean on the media and the social media companies, and that is cheating by any definition of the word. So he's going to get cheated, and fucking the Orange Oracle did as well. That's a fact. You know it, I know it, the Twitter files proved it. Everybody knows it. My channel's been getting strangled for fucking years. Everybody knows it. Paz it happened to. They fucked his channel, so he deleted it, started from scratch. He's back up to 60k. They fucking cheat. They always cheat. They elevate voices that lie and promote their opinions, and they destroy the voices that don't. It's cheating. It's fucking cheating. All right? Yeah. Can we just agree? Okay, I'm going on the piss. Thanks for sending me money, those of you that support me. Thanks to all the members. In fact, I'm going to give some art away. Who's that Aussie fucker that's giving me $25 a month? Someone joined up on like the highest tier, and I'm going to send them some artwork. So if you're watching and you joined up on a $25 tier, which I didn't even know existed until I seen it in my fucking inbox, I owe you some artwork. So yeah, if that's you, PM me, or mattyrm@gmail.com, or send me a PM on Twitter or Facebook, and give me your address, and I will send you a nice piece of shit art from my shit art collection. All right? Everybody else, thank you very much as usual. Have a marvelous weekend, and I will see you all again very, very soon. All right? God bless America. And I suppose if he's got time, he can spare a thought for King Sausage Fingers. But he's definitely not on my Christmas card list anymore. All right. See you later. Cheers.